Find x in 2 raised to power 3x minus 2 raised to power x equal to 120. Find the real value of x. Hello everyone, welcome to our class. In our video class for today, we are going to find the value of x in this Maths Olympiad exponential equation. But before we start, kindly like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel in order to get our subsequent solutions of Maths Olympiad videos once they are uploaded. Remember, subscription to this channel is absolutely free. So we are going to solve this question. The first thing we are going to do is to bring this value. We'll have 2 raised to power 3 raised to power x minus 2 raised to power x equal to 120. So we'll bring 120 to the other side. That will give us 2 raised to power 3x minus 2 raised to power x plus 120 will become minus 120, and that will be equal to 0. Now, from this fact, we can come to see if we want, we'll let our 2x to be equal to y, and it's 2, if 2 raised to power x is equal to y, that means 2 raised to power 2x will be equal to y square. So applying that here, we are going to have this expression becomes y raised to power 3, because 2 raised to power 3x will still give us 3 y raised to power 3. So y raised to power 3 minus y minus 120 is equal to 0. This is not a quadratic equation, rather it's a polynomial equation, because we have our highest power index to be 3. So we are going to solve this polynomial equation. To solve this polynomial equation, the first thing we'll do is to try in a factor into this equation. If we try a factor into this equation and the simplification of that factor gives us 0, that shows that is a real factor. So let's try 5. We'll have 5 raised to power. Let's let our y be equal to 5. So 5 raised to power 3 minus 5 minus 120. What would that give us? 5 raised to power 3 will give us 125 minus 5 minus 120. 125 minus 5 will give us 120 minus 120, and that will be equal to 0. So what does that tell us? That tells us that y, which is equal to 5, which is y minus 5, if this comes over here, equal to 0, is a what? Is a factor of that equation. So we have gotten our first value to be y equal to 5, and we've gotten our first factor to be y minus 5 equal to 0. So what do we do with this? In order to find the other two factors, what we need to do is to divide this factor we have found, 5 minus 5, from the main factor y raised to power 3 minus y minus 120. So y divided by y raised to power 3 will give us y square, right? Y square times y raised to power 3 will give us y raised to power 3. Y square times minus 5 will give us minus 5y square. So if we subtract this minus this will give us 0, and then we'll have minus bracket minus 5y square. That will give us what? Plus what? Plus 5y square. This will come down here, minus y, and this will come down here to give us minus 120. So we're not done with that. The next thing we'll do now is to divide 5y square divided by y will still give us that will give us 5y. That will give us plus 5y. So 5y times y will give us 5y square, plus 5y times minus 5 will give us minus 25y, and that will give us what? If we subtract this will give us 0. This minus y minus minus 25y will give us what? Will give us 24y, and then we'll bring down our 120. What next do? We will now simplify further. If we simplify further, our y will be divided by 24. If y divides 24, what will it give us? Y divided by 24 will give us 24. So our value here will be plus what? 24. Plus 24 times y will give us 24y, and then we will now have 24 times minus 5. That will give us that will give us minus 120. So if this subtract, this will give us 0 and 0. So what does that tells us? That tells us that our second uh, factor is y minus 5. That's the first factor, is y square plus 5y plus 24, and this both is equal to what? 0. This is our second what? Function. So with this second function, we have gotten now that our y is equal to 5, and we'll have our y square plus 5y plus 24 to be equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation we are going to solve quadratically. To solve that quadratic equation, we are going to use the quadratic formula. So if we use the quadratic formula, which is our y will be equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. So from that expression, we'll find out that our a is equal to 1, our b is equal to 5, and our c is equal to 24. So let's substitute those expressions into the quadratic formula. We'll have our y to be equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of this 5 square minus 4 times 1 times 24, all over 2 times 1 is 2. So if we simplify that, we'll have our y to check the numerator, which is the determinant. The determinant will now be equal to 5, will now be equal to minus 5. That will give us, that determinant will give us, the determinant will now give us, that will give us square root of 25 minus 4 times 1 is 4, times 24 is going to give us 96. So if we check this, this is going to give us a negative value, and so it is less than what? 0. That means if we simplify this whole expression, we are going to have an imaginary result. We're going to have an imaginary answer, and that shows that the answer might not be a real values. Remember, we are asked to find the real values of x. So the only real value of x we'll have is the only real value we have from that polynomial equation is y equal to 5. So if y equal to 5, recall that we said we said initially that 2 raised to power x is equal to y. So if 2 raised to power x is equal to y, which is 5, from that expression we can take the log of both sides. That will give us log of 2 raised to power x equal to log of 5. X will come over here, we'll have our x log 2 to be equal to log 5. So if we divide both sides by log 2, and divide both sides by log 2, we're going to get our x value to be equal to, we'll have our x value to be equal to log of 5 over log of 2. So let's point our calculator to find out the value of this. Log of 5 will give us 0.6989 divided by log of 2 will give us 0.3219. So for 0.3010. So if we divide this, we are going to have our x as a value to be equal to approximately in a decimal form 2.3219. Now let's check out to find out if our solution is right. Remember, in the first expression, we were told that 2 raised to power 3x minus 2x should be equal to 120. So we're going to check if this result we get is absolutely correct. So we have 2 raised to power 3x minus 2 raised to power x, it should give us 120. So our 2 raised to power 3 into bracket, the value of x is 2.3219 minus 2 raised to power 2.3219. So if we multiply this, we are going to have 2 raised to power 3 times this whole expression will give us 6.9657 minus 2 raised to power 2.3219. So let's point our calculator. We'll point our calculator, we are going to have this to be equal to 2 raised to power, that value will give us 124.999 minus 2 raised to power 2 point, this will give us 4.999. So if we subtract that expression, we're going to have 120. What does that tells us? That tells us that the value we get for x, which is equal to or approximately 2.3219, is the only real solution to that exponential equation that was given to us initially. I know you do enjoy this video. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and colleagues. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel in order to get our subsequent Math Olympiad videos once they are published. Thanks so much for watching.